Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, we have a very special product on the channel. This is the 10-year Horse Soldier. I could not wait to get my hands on this thing. I didn't think I was going to see it. I did do a little bit of hunting and chasing because I like the barrel proof so much. Let's get it.
Bottle drop, bottle drop, bottle drop.
I'm not gonna lie, I do like the silver badge more than I like the black and gold badge. This is the barrel strength. I said barrel proof in the intro, but it doesn't matter. You guys know it's the same thing. This one says uncut. It does not say non-chill filtered. However, this one says non-chill filtered. Comes in sub-hazmat, not super sub-hazmat, but comes in at 134.2 proof. Now, the back of the label used to say Ohio on it. It wasn't necessarily distilled in Ohio, but according to the TTB rules, if it only had the address of the distillery, then it had to be distilled there too. So that's what made me think that it was being distilled in Ohio. Maybe those rules weren't in effect back then when they started labeling those bottles. I don't know. I really don't. It didn't say Somerset, Kentucky. However, they have built a new distillery in Somerset, Kentucky. They have been contract distilling down in Somerset, Kentucky. It does not say distilled by Horse Soldier. It just says distilled and bottled for Horse Soldier Bourbon, Somerset, Kentucky. Now, somebody told me that it was being distilled at Bardstown. They also said that, you know, it was being contract distilled down there. How long it's been contract distilled down there, I don't know. And the reason why I say that is because when you read all of the press about this bottle, it says a 10-year Kentucky bourbon. Now, they started in 2015. It is just 2025. This started showing up at the end of 2024. So even if they started contract distilling in 2015, it would still only be 9 years old if it was their own stuff. Now, their website does say grain to glass. Supposedly they have their own proprietary yeast strain and things like that. So they don't give you everything. They say grain to glass, and this is our company, and this is how it got started. If you want to know the whole backstory, go and type in Horse Soldier in my search bar, and it will take you to my video once you get into the Bourbon Drop search bar. But I kind of went all into the backstory. I do still think that it's cool that they use some of the steel from 9/11, the towers, to use for the mold for these bottles. So that's cool to me. I love the badge. Like I said, I love the silver badge on this one. The black and yellow one, I'm not the biggest fan of it, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Now, I did feel like it could have been like a combination of like an ECBP store pick, but it had like cherry notes, but it also kind of reminded me of like a Four Roses store pick. That says a lot because I am a big fan of ECBP store picks, and I am a big fan of Four Roses store picks. So that says a lot. This one came in at 124.6 proof. That actually drank a little hotter than the one that I have in the video. The one that I have in the video was a different proof. I'll probably put that up on the screen as well. But it was very good. But this one seemed to taste a little different. And it's, well, they're batches. You know, you're going to try and be as consistent as possible, but it's not going to always work out. But this one tasted a little different, and it drank a little hotter. That first bottle that I have was amazing. I no longer have any of it. It was that good. These can be quite pricey though. So I bought these. I only buy these when they're on sale. They typically go for about 89 bucks. The Virginia ABC will run sales on these bottles. So when they're on sale, I try and snatch them up. You guys know me. You've been watching the channel for a while. You know that I'm a little stingy. I'm a little cheap. I'm not gonna lie. I am a little cheap. I don't like spending a ton on bottles. Now, shout out to my man Brad. He knows that, but he has an old Carter waiting for me, and I don't even tell you guys. I don't want to tell you guys what I'm willing to pay. But anyway, let's get back to the Horse Soldier. So this 10-year Horse Soldier, I could not wait until it came out because I was such a fan of the barrel proofs that they put out. And I was like, wow, a 10-year something with a little more age. Like I said, I know they're not distilling, they're contract distilling. But if it's the same, if they've been contract distilling from the same people for 10 years, I couldn't wait to get my hands on this thing. It's a little pricey as well. I didn't necessarily want to spend what I spent, but we'll get to that later on. Let's get into the nose. Oh my gosh. The first thing that just jumps out is the cherry, man. The cherry and oak is just so prevalent in these bottles. It is ridiculous. That's what started to make me think that it was like a Four Roses store pick. Because when I was drinking it, I started to get like a little bit of like that cinnamon red hot, which I can sometimes pick up in Heaven Hill and Jim Beam products. And I did say ECBP when I did the review of the barrel strength. But that cherry note, man, it is just so beautiful. All right, got into the palate. Let's get into the got into the nose. Let's get into the palate. Same deal. Cherry, oak, cinnamon red hots, little bit of dark chocolate. Oh boy. Wow. Look, I know I'm losing it. This so far, I know it's early, it's January. This might be in contention. You know, my last list for 2024 had 20 plus bottles on it. This might be in contention. It might to make that list. All right, let's get back into the nose. Oak, cherry. A slight, very slight like chocolate note that's in there. You do pick up some vanilla. There's a hint, not a lot, but there's a hint of like almost like a raisin note. Oh, that dark chocolate is nice. All right, let's go back into the palate for the second time. Oaky, viscous. It's not drinking hot though. Like at 134.2 proof, you would think that thing would be lighting me up right now. It's not. Like I don't, even in the nose, I'm not getting a heavy ethanol presence in the nose. I'm not. And this is coming from a guy who came off dry January. Today is the 6th. Last dry January, it took about 2 weeks for me to start like really tasting things. It took 3 weeks for me to fully get back. I am still getting back. This is the 6th. I know it's been only 6 days. I am still getting back, but this right here, man, wow. All right, so there's some of that cinnamon clove note, that like big red chewing gum note, and cinnamon red hot note. All right, so I've gushed over this thing enough. I'm pretty sure you guys want to get into the breakdown. So, is it worth the chase? I am stingy when it comes to chase-worthy bottles. I am not going to say it's worth the chase. The reason why is because I don't want to down it, but you can get this same experience from a Knob Creek 120 proof single barrel. Okay, I know. All right, let's get into, is it worth retail? I told you guys this was a pricey bottle. Comes in at $120. The cheapest I've seen it for is $114, but most of the time I see it for $119.99. I saw it for $114.99, which is $115, $5 cheaper. That's not that much of a difference when you're talking about a bottle that costs over $100. When I start to get to bottles that approach that $100 category, like, I need them to be special. I am not saying they didn't do a great job. This is one hell of a bottle. But the fact that you can get the same experience from a $60 bottle, and in some states it's even cheaper. Shout out to my man Robert. He did a hunt video, and they had the Knob Creek single barrel for $49.99. That is the cheapest price I've ever seen it for. But the fact that you can get the same experience out of a $59.99, which is a $60 bottle, it makes it hard to say it's worth retail. It does have some of, like, the first night I opened it up, it had some of those like raspberry candy, strawberry candy notes in it that I get out of like the Knob Creek single barrels. I didn't pick that up tonight. I did have to warm up a little bit because it is cold down here in the Bourbon Drop Studios. In the wintertime, it sucks. I do have the heater on, so some of these bottles that were sitting close to the heater did warm up a bit. All right, who is it for? You guys already know the answer to that question. This thing comes in at 134.2 proof. Not giving that to an intermediate bourbon drinker. Not giving that to an experienced bourbon drinker. I know what I said earlier is that it does not drink like 134.2 proof. It doesn't. Not at all. But it is not going to a new bourbon drinker. It doesn't drink in the 110s. It definitely drinks around 120 or 120 plus. So I will not give this to a new or intermediate bourbon drinker. This is experienced bourbon drinker territory only. All right. Will it always be on the bar? If it wasn't so pricey, it would always be on the bar, man. I struggle with the price. Like I said, I only buy the barrel strengths when they're on sale. So when they start to be around that anywhere from 73, 79 bucks, that's when I started to pick them up. When I start approaching that $100, like I said, it has to be like special. This thing comes in at 120 bucks, man. I cannot say that it's always going to be on the bar. If it was in that 60, 70, even being 10 years, maybe even in that $80 category, I probably would have this thing on the bar all the time. But at $120, I just can't do it. And with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out unless you head into a drop. Till next time.